Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and we're playing some 10NL Snap today, and we're going to be playing a very conservative, tight, nut peddly type style. It's something I've been thinking about doing for a while in terms of videos, just trying to see just how tight we can play and just how much money we can still make while keeping very tight, very value orientated, not very bluffy type ranges. It's going to tilt anyone that's remotely loose and aggressive. It's going to tilt anyone who's even slightly kind of tight and aggressive. Anyone who is into being super balanced or trying to play loosely based on a game theory optimal style. It's going to tilt a lot of you, and this is going to attract quite a lot of negative comments, I would imagine. And maybe even a few thumbs down. So if we can balance some of the thumbs down with some thumbs up, that'd be great. If we can't, who gives a shit? But yeah, we're going to be playing really tight. I want to try and um, like try and get a reasonable sample size. I'm aiming to try and have a VPIP of around 18%, PFR of around 14, 3-bet less than 6, and just see how it goes. I guess we're going to be doing it mostly at 10NL when Sky isn't really a good option for me. I mean, my main game's still going to be on Sky. This is just something of an experiment, something I've been keen to do for a while, but never really had the confidence to do it and accept the backlash that's going to come with it. Well, backlash. How are they going to get a backlash off 100 or so viewers? But you know what I mean. So yeah, we'll see how we go with it. There's going to be things that are going to tilt your minds out. Why didn't you see bet here? Why didn't you 3-bet there? Why did you fold there? Why didn't you bluff there? Going to be an awful lot of those questions. But the answers in the first video. We're going to be playing super cautious, super nut peddly, pretty much super tight, and see. Can we make some reasonable win rates at that style? I do feel that I've been a little bit too loose of late, especially in marginal spots. So the theory is, or my thought process is, play less of the hands that put you in marginal spots, so then you don't get in them, then you make less mistakes, etc. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. If you are going to insult some of the lines that we take, could we please bear one or two things in mind? Number one, make it funny. Number two, don't be excessively fucking malicious with it. And three, bear in mind that I probably couldn't give a fuck. So yeah, let's see. Let's just see what happens. Quite looking forward to the comments, to be frank. That's going to be one of the most enjoyable parts of it. Obviously, if we can win some money at the same time, that'd be even nicer. We still stab the ace-8 here, blind versus blind, with some overs and backdoors. Now we're going to go into conservative mode. Ace-8, so we've floated the flop, check back the turn. This is representing a 6 or a flush here. Looks like that to me anyway. Trying to think of what bluffs he can show up with here. Guess there's some 5-3, 7-5s. Feels kind of like we're paying off, but we're going to anyway. Ace deuce. Beautiful. Oh, chop it. I didn't think it was a... Oh, why didn't I see the chop pot there? What a bell end I am. Thought I'd won then. I thought I'd won. Look at this. He wants this pot. He wants it. He can take it. I'm going to have to set mine in position here with just 6 big blinds more. We do not make a set. I'm going to stab the ace-jack here on this pretty dry flop. hand, even though he's bet super tiny. I'm not particularly confident in my 2-7s here. I guess we need to call this flop versus his sizing. As much as I'm trying to play like super conservative, nitty, etc. I think versus that size we have just like a must call. If he upsizes on the turn, then pretty easy fold, and he does indeed upsize quite significantly. So he tanks forever and his leads out on this paired board. Nothing to do, our line's going to be pretty much just call, call, call if he keeps betting. If he takes the street off, we're probably going to pick up the baton and start betting ourselves. Come on, lad. I mean, is this like tanking to fake a decision? Is it? Well, who knows? I guess we'll find out more at the end of the hand. There's not many bluffs he can really have here, like natural bluffs. Of course he can just have some random nonsense that he's decided to just start betting with. But in terms of natural bluffs, there aren't very many. He checks now on the river. It's reasonably safe to go for some value here, but we can't go big. And trying to just like get value from his like 8x and stuff here, that's just decided to bet twice. I'm going to go with like a 1/3 pot size bet. Really trying to get like 8x to call here. And he just folds. His line is kind of weird, I guess. Just with a microphone in case the audio was annoying you at the start of the video. It was on top of my laptop, but the fan is just ever so slightly blasting away, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be like reverberating through the actual microphone or not. So if the audio quality was bad, hopefully it's a little better now. We're going to set mine the fours out of position. That is the big question here. That is the big question. We've got to pay 5 more blinds. We're getting like nearly 20 to 1 implied. think people's like 3-betting ranges are kind of like split. You're either gonna have like really strong hands or quite a few like just like suited connector type stuff. I'm not sure our implied odds are necessarily there in that situation. Need to defend the ace jack versus this small 3-bet sizing, but we will be proceeding with caution post flop. Backdoors, oh, well, doesn't matter. None of that matters now because he's just gone all in, which is ludicrous. So Bob, we're going to get check raised on quite a lot this 10-9-8 board. So we're going to exercise a little bit of pot control. We don't really have a 3-street hand anyway. And now he's checked. Now we can just go for 2 streets, assuming that the river isn't something that connects heavily with the board. Not barreling on the 7 here on table 2. I think the flop c-bet's fine. Dry board, paired board. I'm going to get a lot of folds, and we have some backdoor clubs. So we've been squeezed here by somebody who, let's have a look at his stats. Very low squeeze, 0 for 8 so far. So we're not going to be looking to 4-bet here with the ace king. He's going to be looking to call and try and make a hand, I guess. I mean, the orange tag is, I mean, his overall stats, which I've got from my holder manager previously, is he's 20/13 with a 6% 3-bet, but 0 from 8 squeeze. So we're going to respect him when he does 3-bet. His 3-bet isn't excessively high to begin with, and his squeeze isn't, well, it's the first time he's squeezed now in like 9 opportunities. And then he makes like a really, really big c-bet here. We're just going to respect his range and fold. And check back the ace. 8 here again. We don't really have a 3-street hand. It's nice to have some top pairs in our checking back range. And then we're just going to start betting from the turn when he checks again. Easy c-bet here with the ace jack with the 1/over double gutter. I'm going to isolate this limper with king 10 off. It's not a particularly pretty hand, but it's certainly strong enough to isolate a cut-off limp. Obviously, it goes without saying we'll be folding it to 3-bets unless it's just like a silly little click it back or something. Let's see what's going on here with this dude's 3-bet and this guy's like limp call. We would have flopped reasonably. We would have turned the nizzles, which is all kind of unfortunate, but that's not to say we shouldn't anything other than what we did pre. He had the ace king. Who knows what this dude has or had? Let's try and find out, shall we? The other dude limp called with the ace 5 offsuit, and fair to say we can give him a nice colourful green tag. get queen suited. I mean, it's definitely a situation we're going to put some chips in. It's just a matter of how we're going to go about it. Probably just going to call, I think. And we faced a min 3-bet here and did not really improve, and he hasn't got many chips, so let it go. Flop a top pair here with some backdoor stuff going on. Certainly going to be sticking around for a turn card. That is a big bet. Oh wow, are we sticking around for a turn card? Not sure we are anymore. No, at this price. Just a little bit too expensive for my taste there. We are going to go for a check raise here with 2 overcards and plenty of backdoor equity. This pot down here continues, and he just like bombs the turn on the diamond and it gets the futs. So we were planning on check calling there, but when someone like pots it on the flop and then someone calls, it's already a big pot. And like, well, maybe our top pair doesn't have a ton of equity here, and it's going to be fucking damn difficult to realise what equity it does have. This is a dude that limped earlier with the ace-5 offsuit. This dude seems like he's like quite an aggressive type of regular. I don't think we can check back ace queen here and fold on the turn very often, especially when there's 7 pairs. It's great to have too much on this board. I think we can just take our ace queen to showdown here and expect to win a reasonable amount of the time. Not really sure what his turn probe's all about there. I think it didn't seem necessary to me. But then again, I am a nit. It's tempting to call here and give him an opportunity to squeeze, but I think excuse me, the 3-bet's just obviously a far superior play. But it is tempting because I get the impression this dude might be something of a warrior. Excuse me, a couple of snap calls, then the squeeze. Which kind of puts my ace-9 suited in jail. Would have been an interesting flop, but we didn't get to see how the hand developed further from that. Ace king under the gun from someone who isn't playing particularly impressive stack. Trivially easy squeeze. King 10 suited, two potential fish. We're going to make a kind of marginal call here, which we said we weren't going to do at the start of the video, and then we instantly get punished for going against our word by getting squeezed. That is a particularly disappointing flop for Ace King when you squeeze to the size we did and get two callers. We just have like quite poor equity here, I would imagine. This is a combined range. Trivially easy fold. Jackson 10s. We were destroyed. He's a regular, as I suspect he might be. He probably doesn't have too much Ace X in his small blind flatting range. So we're going to go ahead and call here. I was about to 3-bet the ace check, but he's chosen quite a large isolation size, and I have no issue with this isolation size. I think it's good, but it does make it quite difficult to pull the trigger on like a lightish 3-bet from the small blind. Really easy situation here. We just need to decide, do we want to try and get the money in 2 streets or 3 streets? If we want to get it in 2, we probably need to go around 14 bigs. 13, 14 bigs, something like that. So I just think that's what we'll do. And then just like not fold if he raises and ship turn if he calls. All of that is deemed irrelevant by his quick fold. Ace, Jack, offsuit, cut off open from unknown Russian. Absolutely snap call pre, which tells me he probably doesn't have anything particularly exciting. We do have 2 overs, backdoor wheel draw, backdoor hearts, so we're going to kick it off with a small c-bet. Hope not to get raised, because that would be quite irritating. And only barrel on like good turns. Yeah, not sure where that falls in terms of good turns. It does improve us to a gut shot draw. He snap called again. I mean, I just think he's going to have like so many like shitty pocket pairs here that he's just not going to fold on this board. He's like snap called pre, snap called again, post. I'm just going to give up. I'm not in the business of trying to make people fold. Like if he's got like pocket 7s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s, 6s, I have my doubts that any of them are going to fold. Probably should have c-bet this flop. Not really concentrating. Probably should have c-bet without overs, backdoors, etc. I guess we can't fold for this price. But we definitely should have c-bet. Now we're just going to like check. Probably check raise all in on the turn. I mean, obviously, you lose to occasional 2 pairs that you can have, like, I don't know, Queen 8, Ace Queen, Ace 8. Oh, yeah, Let's do it anyway. Don't lose to ace 4. That's what we don't lose to. Can we value bet our jack on the river here? I think we can if we choose a small enough size. So back to the ace king hand down here. Our flop check, which wasn't really intentional, certainly helped us get paid off there. Not to be result orientated, of course, though. I mean, I still think the flop check wasn't good, but it's quite nice when mistakes work out. An overcard here and some backdoors, so we're going to stab the flop and then proceed on good turns. Did not realise his stack was so small. Probably wouldn't have gone for the squeeze had I realised. Naughty Reggie. We are in trouble. Yeah, there's no way I would have gone for the squeeze. I just did not notice his stack size. That's 2 lacks of concentration now that have, one's worked out okay, one worked out not so great. Like super tiny check raise here. And then we have ace jack, so we're just going to fold. So rare that you see like small check raises being anything other than strong hands. I think it's like an incredibly underused line as a bluff. So therefore we don't want to be going like just defending too light versus it. So we had a min raise here and a small 3-bet. We have king queen suited. I don't think calling is good. Then again, I don't think 4-betting is good, and folding feels shit. So right, we've got 3, in my opinion, relatively unattractive options here. I think we're going to go with the small cold 4-bet. Absolutely snap called by the under the gun dude, and then folded by the other fellow. Now we're in a kind of weird situation where we've ended up kind of at the bottom of our value range here, when we're going to start c-betting our king queen. I mean, obviously we need to c-bet it. Not going to be at all happy if we get raised. I mean, the board's running out relatively clean for us. We do block sets of queens, obviously we block pocket kings. Slightly worried about our slow played aces maybe. We have just like a pot size bet left. I think we just need to pile it in, do we? We obviously lose to ace queen. What calls? This is my issue here, is like what calls. I actually think we can check this and use it as a bluff catcher. And I guess at this point we just jam because we've only got 23 blinds more left, and we're probably going to lose. No, we did not lose. That is not unpleasant. Jacks. What are we doing here with the jacks? I guess we're just flying. Not too concerned about this dude, but I was concerned about that dude's range. If we call 4-bet, he jams, we probably need to fold. Feels shit. We are trying to play with some kind of caution. That's the whole point of the whole premise of what we're trying to achieve here. And then we flop top set, which is absolutely delightful. The problem, no, not the problem. Do we just check ship it here? There's no real race as we can turn. It's either check ship or call, isn't it? Check jam or call. I think we'll go with the call because this dude seems quite aggressive. Not at all worried about the flush. If he's got the flush, then unlucky for us. How to proceed on this river? I think he's most likely holding is like an ace that he's been pot controlling with on the turn. Like an ace queen, ace king type hand that just c-bet the flop, then got there. And then continue checking. He checks back, never mind. What did he check back with there? Pocket queens. So probably could have got full value if we check raised the flop. Wasn't sure he was going to be like uber strong there though. I mean, I could be wrong, he might be in it. It just strikes me, the times I've seen him during the session and before, in other times, he's kind of struck me as somebody who is something of a warrior. But could be very wrong. 10-9 suit, we just have to defend versus this sizing. We flop a gut shot, 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw. Certainly going to raise here. We're supposed to be like not playing marginal hands and not getting in marginal situations, and then we just appear to be getting ourselves into them, which is a bit disappointing. I think we actually, I was going to think about raising, I think we actually just float here and then just like use any 3s, 4s, obviously 8 gives us the nuts, diamonds, there's tons of like turn cards we can attack if he slows down. Ace of Hearts is possibly one of my least favourite cards to see. And he chooses like an enormous sizing. So maybe we got away with it. Maybe our flop raise would not have worked. I am trying to lace caution into the things I'm doing. I kind of like deliberately, almost to the point where maybe it's too fast. I'm trying to play like as tight as I dare and like as risk averse as I dare, if you will, for want of a better way of putting it, and just like not looking to take too many risks, looking to try and keep pots small until I have confidence, like strong confidence in my hand. Didn't really work out with the jacks. I think in hindsight probably should just like check jammed the jacks versus a c-bet, and kind of got confused. The ace turn, then it's like spade run out river. Yeah, not sure about, far from sure about the jacks. This is it when you do like explore new things, or not new things, but you know you try to change some things in your game. You do end up sometimes in some spots that you're not that well practiced at, that you fuck up. You need to call here with the ace, with the jacks. So I'm not advocating, by the way, this isn't me saying this is how you guys should play. Just remember, this is very much just an exercise in, I'm interested to know just how tight we can play and still make a decent win rate, and perhaps not have our opponents adjust to. It's just an experiment, really. But I know it's going to wind some of you guys up. And get called in 2 spots. I'm going to start slowing down with the ace king. Trying to get to showdown with it if we can. Do we raise? He's only got 20 big blinds left. We do raise, don't we? We raise and then kind of fall to this guy and just call this dude if he sticks the rest in. Oops. So I chose that sizing. It's kind of like we know we're going to call it off against him, but when he does jam it, it kind of saves us a little bit of money rather than just putting that guy automatically all in. If we know we're raised folding to this dude, then I think just making it a bit smaller is fine. Not a particularly good flop for our actual hand, but given he like limped and called pre, I think it's a flop we can stab at and then just shut down if we get called. Although maybe not on the 10. On the jack, sorry, which now gives us like an open ender. I think it's a jack. Kind of hits his flop calling range reasonably well, doesn't it? I mean, obviously it doesn't hit his floats with his small pocket pairs and things. Obviously stack sizes, if we bet, we're probably going to be priced into call or raise, so if we are going to bet, we may as well go fucking big. In fact, we may as well go for all of it. Oh, I turned the nuts. Floated the good shot, turned the nuts. That was unfortunate. If I was in a fruity mood, I think I'd consider raising here. I think he's just representing an ace really well here. He should definitely fold it to a check raise, but do people do that? Is that the purpose of these videos? Maybe people fold an ace there to a check raise, but that's not what we're trying to do in these videos. We're trying to demonstrate playing a pretty cautious, careful style, not a devil-may-care style. Again, this will be another potential check raise opportunity with that like 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. I'm not a big fan of check raise bluffing on A-side boards though, to be fair, because people just don't fold top pair too often. And if he does have a top pair, then we don't have particularly good equity against it. That's probably too loose given what we're trying to achieve. It shouldn't be opening the queen. I mean, obviously it's a completely fine open in the normal run of things, but given we're trying to avoid something like the bottom of our range spots, and avoid getting your spots with some of the bottom of our ranges from various positions, and we're sort of trying to play it tighter, that was a naughty open. Reasonably small 3-bet again here. We probably need to be defending the fives. say it time and again, I really do not like defending pocket pairs, but when people just aren't 3-betting to particularly big sizes, we kind of need to. Not the worst flop in the world for 2-5s there, but you can't take much heat. As it call flop, hope he shuts down. Is that the plan? If that's the plan, it's fucking rubbish one. Oh, all kinds of action going on. Let the 10-9 go. See what the reg was squeezing on the bottom with. 8-7 suited. It's a bit naughty, sir. Gets duly punished for being a naughty boy. And I think that hand, I mean, I could be way off here, by the way. I think that hand's like a very decent hand to like 3-bet versus cut-off opens with, but I'm not sure it's too great to be squeezing with. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong there. It doesn't feel like it's a particularly good squeezing hand to me. But maybe it is. What do I know? Not defending the ace-jack versus the 4x open. Perhaps we should have, given the way the board's running out, but again, that is definitely just playing results. So this dude doesn't have a particularly strong range. You might be careful to check calling a couple of streets. This would be a spot where if we weren't trying to play like uber conservatively and keep pots small, I would just try and triple barrel versus this guy if this dude got out of the way, but it's not what we're about right now, so we're not going to do it. But I think this guy's probably got a lot of ace highs, not like a lot of pairs lower than a jack. Easy 4-bet with the pocket jacks. We are somewhat deep though, setting 150 blinds deep. So facing a 5-bet. Yeah. No, it's just not what I'm thinking things, it's just a 4-bet, isn't it? It's just a 4-bet. be 4 bets here, then we definitely consider shoveling the ace queen in. And raised here. And we're going to call and then just check shovel turns that aren't a king. Wouldn't be too happy with the spade either. I'm very happy with that card. Six, seven, eight, nine, but he's bet full pot. Jack 8 offsuit. Nice one, sir. Nice one. And with the check raise here with our gut shot. Really not sure what business Jack 8 offsuit has calling a pre-flop 3-bet, but we'll take it. So what do I think this guy's got? C-bet calls this flop. He's just going to have a lot of overpairs, isn't he? You would imagine. Some draws, but we block a lot of his draws. I mean, it feels rude not to continue on the ace. Just check for the tens versus the bet on the call on the ace XX dry. Hopefully we can see a showdown to see if our decision was vindicated or not. I want to get a bit low on the vape juice. Should be enough to see the current session out without pausing it to go and get a new bottle. Do we have enough in the bottle that's lying around? No, not really. Not really. At the end of the video I think we will pause open holder manager and see just how tightly we played. Feels like we've kept our VPIP under 18. But we'll see. Again, this is untypically, you can make a very strong case for playing, but middle position, we could get squeezed, we're behind 200 to gun open range, etc, etc. Normally I would call or 3-bet that in a heartbeat, but again, for the purposes of what we're trying to prove or disprove with these few videos that we're going to be making, we'll let it go. Should probably have bet slightly more on the flop there, so we just like jam this turn without it being an overbet, but clearly jams appropriate here. Gonna have to pause and go for the vape juice. I know there's not long to go in the video, but it needs to be done. Shouldn't have too much ace-x, should he? Should he have too much ace-x? I guess he can have some ace-high floats, probably 3-bets most of his good ace-x on the button, etc, etc. But we will check, allow him to carry out any plans of like floats on the flop to take it away. He doesn't bet the turn we river trips. I think we just go with a large bet. sure I like that defend versus that stack size. I think I'll rush that. Probably fine. I mean, the 10-8 down here would have been a completely standard open, but we didn't. We chose not to do it in the interest of keeping our VPIP down. So I think we'll come down to sitting out next big blind and we'll check our session stats. And call a turn here and then probably fold rivers. Certainly going to fold that river. I guess we just lose here to like a scared 8, scared 5. I'll be king 10 off. So there we go. Let's get hold of manager. So here are our session stats. We didn't quite stay below the 18. We actually ended up paying 18.7, 14, 3 bet below 6. We kind of got within the almost stuck within the rules of staying 18 or below. 18.7 I can handle that. I did play a tiny bit of 13L before the session. Not there's much else to look at really, is there? How much did we steal? I guess good look at that. So we didn't steal very much at all. We kept it very tight. Still got a nice curve though from already starting to show through from middle position, under the gun, etc. Yeah, it's way too early to take anything from that, of course. Let's just look at some of the stats of the players, and let's look at this dude who played the Jack 8. Just out of interest, what were his stats? He was 36-27. I mean, seriously, that call pre-flop is just whatever. Raises there. And the turn jam is just pure spew, isn't it? And happy days. Happy days. Yeah, as you can see, my stats aren't that far away from what we're trying to achieve anyway, long term. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? 9.5 big blinds per 100 over 19,000 hands. We like that. Yeah, so it's not that far removed from what I do already. It's just maybe just slightly extra cautious to my usual already relatively nitty style. So yeah, I'm going to make a few more of these. Not sure how they're going to go down with the viewing public, but never mind. It'll go down how it goes down, won't it? Take care, everybody. I'm probably going to try and do a few of these. I'd probably squeeze some morning sessions in. Certainly do another one tomorrow in the morning, which is going to be Friday morning. Probably won't do any Saturday, Sunday. It's more family time during the day, and then be back with another one maybe on the Monday. Not sure how many we're going to do. I'm not committing to anything. I'd like to at least get maybe 10,000 or more hands in before we stop doing it, but we'll see. You never know with me. I do tend to go all over the map with stuff, so yeah, take care everybody, have a great day, and bye bye for now.